Apologies to everybody online. We had the wrong agenda in front of us a few minutes ago. So we signed into the Parks Commission meeting instead, which is why there was nobody there. So it's Michael Dane that's started his presentation. For the people online that wondered where we were.
Okay, all right.
Okay, thank you so much for that.
So you have a watch and you have an advisory and then a warning, and that would be on your distant tsunami, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
And therefore, unless we have a warning, we get the information from emergency management.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I pass it up to Brady, who passes it on.
Mm-hmm.
And we ourselves, because we have a pretty good idea of impact time on a distant tsunami. However, if it were to occur offshore here, and you have 15 to 20 minutes to get evacuate to a safer location,
Mm-hmm.
your indication is the ground is shaking.
Yeah.
After it quits shaking, make sure that everyone is safe if it's time to move.
Okay.
So I wanted to bring that up. The other thing is I wanted to encourage a little more participation in the use of the radios.
Mm-hmm.
We really need to get the nets tightened up. The Little Elk Cove has a really good, what they do once a month. And so if we could practice that,
Mm-hmm.
or more, I think we could use the shakedown coming up on Thursday, 10/16. We could use that as a training opportunity. And so I don't know if you would be interested in doing that.
The city does not have anything set up for the shakeout at this time.
What would you mean set up for what?
Nothing has been broadcast or,
It's on the
Organized.
14th, right?
It's on the 16th at
Yeah,
10/16.
we haven't put anything together to be able to participate.
Okay.
What would you, I hear what you're saying, this is Deb, I hear what you're saying, what would be needed for us to participate?
The way you would do it is you, first of all, with people in your group, you would gather the information and it could be simple as no damage here, everybody's fine. And you move on to the next sector, get the information from there. You compile that and then I'll call you. I'll call you for see if you have any information.
You have 3 HOAs here actually in this room, and so I would imagine the 3 of us is there a time that you plan on being broadcasting on radio, and we can be sure that each of our HOAs are on at that time?
Well, it starts at 10/16, but yeah, it starts at 10/16.
Okay.
However, I would give about 10 minutes because I'll come on air with our ham radio group.
Okay.
And so I'll be taking that, and when that happens, that's when you folks, all the HOAs should run their internal in their group check-ins.
What channel do you want us on?
What do you folks use? You have to use all the channels that you are going to use. I know that you and Joyce have your.
So we go to 7, but my HOA is, I'm with View of the Bay, so we're 6. Little Elk Cove, what's your station?
15.
Right, and then I know 13 is first responders and 7 is the city. Am I accurate or am I wrong on any of that?
7 is the city.
And so we would want to be on 7, is,
No, this is what I'll suggest.
okay,
Those of you who have your license, go to
Yeah.
channel 15,
okay,
because you have more power.
okay.
6 and 7 are limited power range.
Okay, so for the shakeout on 10-16, at 10-16, we'll go to channel 15, and then we'll monitor, and then when you do a call out asking, we'll respond to that call out.
Well, what I would like for you to do is get the people in your area.
Okay,
Make contact with them, get the information from
Easy.
them.
Right.
If there's, simulated damage or
okay,
everybody's fine, then, you take all of that from whatever channel that you use
Got
in your group.
So our, people in our, committee have, we're licensed with our radios. We have, given radios to several people that have emergency barrels in the Depoe Bay area. So are you looking for people only that are licensed to be part of this program?
No, that's why I mentioned
Mhm.
that, you should go to the, channel that you normally
Got
would use.
Okay,
And channel 6 and channel 7 are part of the, the low power.
okay,
15 is high power. And Joyce, I already know, I heard you on there. In fact, I wasn't even using my mobile ring.
mhm,
I heard both you and Deb check in
mhm.
on a task net. And so I know that can be done, but if you'll get the information from people in your own group, and then whoever you select to be the control station, that station gets all the information that will be passed on to us.
Yeah.
And that's when you go to channel 15.
okay, that's what we'll do.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable with that,
No, that's a great idea. So let me summarize what you just said. What I'm hearing you say is there's a shakeout on 10-16. It actually starts around 10-16. And that's an opportunity for all of us that have communications networks, HOAs here do. And then we also have a communications network with the emergency barrel program. So you're asking that each of us do what we usually do to do our all call. And then we check into channel 15 to relay that information.
Right, you wait till I call because, to keep it orderly so we're not stepping over each other.
Perfect. I'll send you, can all the HOAs, if you don't have Michael Dane's email, we'll be sure you have it by the end of the day. And then we'll all send him an email confirming that we'll be all checking in and letting him know so we can all call out to the three of us. Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity.
great. No, that's a good
It's
idea.
a great training opportunity, an emergency doesn't
No, and then you can,
announce itself.
perfect. And then you can document as the EOC and the,
Right, yeah,
for
we'll
this
be
area that
documenting
you
all
did
of that.
participate. We don't have to worry about it. So we're in.
Sounds good. It's a good time to do it. We had a program where we were, the committee, doing radio checks that, I believe it was 11 o'clock on Saturdays. And that's sort of fallen off a little bit, but I think it's something that we need to get into. And the Depoe has also shared their information for their monthly check-ins as well. And so I think that's the first Saturday of the month, as I recall. And it's what, 10 o'clock? Okay.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, okay, 9 a.m. And so we need to get back in the habit of doing that, because that was always good to do. So communication is obviously the key, and we have agreed that we want to participate in this program and then do more of it, not just have this a one and done type of thing. We want to, continue with that. I think some of our barrel program or barrel holders are pretty savvy with radio. Some are not, but I think we can get several to participate in this type of thing. Some of the people who have the barrels, although they have a radio, they're a little bit timid about them because they don't know exactly how they work.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
So we do have some barrel hosts in the room, and I'm gonna be sure that I introduce you to them before you leave today, Michael.
Mhm.
So, communications that we've had with our barrel hosts are, so the radios that we provide in the barrels are really, very rudimentary. They're very just two-way radios, and you know about them, they're the big
Yeah,
ones.
short
And
range.
they're not great, no, that's not.
No.
Well, they're okay, but they're not for mass. I do know that we do have some, I'm gonna say, probably half of our barrels, I'll say 3 or 4 of our barrel hosts would be interested in upgrading and coordinating that with you, so that then they could, because we do have them in zones in the area. So we've got the 5 zones that Degami has pointed out to us. Right now, we've got hosts in 2, 3, and 4, in 3 of the zones, 1 and 5 we do not. And so I believe we could come up with something, and I know that's why they're here today, is they wanted to meet with you about the best way to, about the best way to set that, what's the best way for us to get you a network of community members that you would then be working with? Is that something that would be in your?
Well, all you have to do is, get the people together and we'll train them.
Okay.
It's very simple in that, Eric, would you grab, there's
Yeah,
two.
just pass my radio around.
Right.
And would you grab my other, in the case in the,
What am I looking for?
there's the BT, the 88.
So I'm standing up, Mr. Dane, and so I'm back here in the back of the room with the hosts that are here, the Clements, Mr. and Ms. Clements, who actually do have some, and they're in the Stonebridge area.
Oh,
And
okay.
so they would, they are interested in being sure that they're part of a communications network besides, outside of our little,
Is that,
we're gonna hand it back here, I'm happy to be.
The 88 S, the KG88.
yeah,
Yeah.
without the antenna.
Well, yeah. Well, the antenna is in the bag.
The point of them is that the antennas you can switch out, correct, Mr. Dane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I've worked with both Kenwood and Motorola, both analog, and then finally, just prior to my retirement from the 32 years in management of a transportation department for a public school district in California, we finally went digital. This KG88, the reason why I brought it, I like this radio in that it's just GMRS. It doesn't have all of the other things that you can do with it. I think what's nice about this is that it's hard for an individual to get lost.
Yeah.
And I find that this is the easiest. The other radio that I have in there is also a high-powered radio, but it has more features in it. And I think that I keep in mind that when people are stressed and they have a easier time working with something that's simple, straight ahead. So that's why I brought that radio.
Okay, wonderful. And so you're saying that you would be willing to help train our people,
Put them
which is
together.
terrific.
Sure. Yeah.
When is a good time for you to have such a training?
Well, I don't know what people's schedules are.
Okay,
But what is your schedule like? Are you a
Well,
weekly person? Are you
No, on the
an evening person?
weekends I usually are busy.
Okay,
Also, I will be available till the 8th of November.
Okay.
I have a medical procedure coming.
okay, all right.
So I'll be the latter part of November and December I won't be available.
Well, we had, years ago, we had, gentleman from Little Quill Cove, Ron Pierre, I believe was his name, I think you were with us at that time. And he had his presentation on the tail end or at the beginning of our regular emergency preparedness meeting. So if we could either do that, let's see,
Sure.
the 8th of November, let me just look and see.
That's Saturday.
Oh, it's a Saturday, okay. So our next meeting is the 11th, so that probably wouldn't work.
no, that's a Tuesday.
Yeah,
That's not the 11th.
Okay.
That's a Tuesday.
That's Veterans Day.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, so our
Okay.
next meeting is, can you help us with that, Kim, because we're having trouble? It's the 10th, great,
okay,
great, we got it, it's on the bottom of the agenda.
okay.
The 10th of,
And you're already done, you're incommunicado, because you just told me the 8th, so you're already
Well,
done.
no, from, after the 8th, I could be for the,
So are you available on November 10th? Maybe. Eric?
I'll have to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what, I will be,
Okay,
if you'll schedule it, because I'd rather get it done.
Yeah, so let's
Instead
just
of
do that.
postponing it.
Okay.
Okay, well,
we
that's
do that?
good.
Is everybody in agreement, we could just do
Yeah, I
a
think so.
communications thing and have anybody
I think
who
so.
shows interest in it?
so, we could,
November 10th?
Fine.
we could, put you first on the agenda, as well as we can, and just have you, teach everyone. And so that would be the thing to do, I think. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's great, thank you for being so available.
I also, I know that there are people, who are comfortable using a radio, so I asked, Mike from the Little Local Group to come
Perfect.
and, share with you, another means, and this is
Yeah.
texting.
Oh,
How many people are more comfortable texting?
I like either.
I can, yeah, texting works, when I found texting doesn't work is I'm at AT&T, and AT&T doesn't have a backup generator on their cell towers.
Well,
So-
you're not gonna be using, AT&T, Verizon.
No electricity.
You're gonna be using, it's kind of like radio to radio.
So there's texting on a radio? Oh,
No,
Michael, I'm holding up a mesh casting.
this
okay,
is,
great,
this is Michael, everybody.
okay, great.
And what is it called, Michael?
It is a mesh tastic, it's a radio, really, it's a
Would you spell that
long
for
range,
me?
MESHTASTIC.
Okay, and so that's a radio that's this,
It is a low power,
Oh.
long range radio.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
But you can only text, there's no voice.
That's
Okay,
wonderful.
Great.
But it is waterproof, weatherproof.
How do you text on it?
And
You use your phone.
but you do, in this case, you do use your cell phone, but only to communicate with this. You do
Yeah.
not need cellular service to talk to this.
How does it work?
So-
Is that attached to your phone or?
You
is it
wanna,
supposed to
could
be
you
a radio?
demonstrate here? I'll switch places. Step right up. And they expect you to sing a song for them.
You've got a PowerPoint presentation, Michael.
That's what you're famous for, Michael. So you have it like next to your phone, and then you, that communicates.
Or you're gonna sit next to me,
Oh.
okay?
That's
Why,
Whatever.
is it safe?
So Michael, I think you're up with your presentation. If you could show us how that works, that would be terrific.
Sure, this actually isn't the presentation, but
Uh-huh.
yes, I can, but
Okay, that's great.
It works, like I say, with either Android or iPhone or
Okay.
iOS.
Excellent.
And there's a specific app, it doesn't cost you anything, it's called Meshcast.
Okay,
And you click on it,
Wow.
and normally you would turn on this is a credit card, Michael, this is a credit card sized.
I'll take the credit card.
It's like, it should be better than your credit card.
Okay,
The green light comes on.
Okay. And you get those Amazon or anywhere?
Yes, I've actually bought this one at Amazon.
how do you charge that?
It comes with a little charging cable, and it actually fits magnetically on this little strip, so it maintains its waterproof integrity.
Okay. What is the connection? Is it a C or a USB or?
It is Bluetooth.
It's-
Oh, I'm
The
sorry,
cable.
no, the power is just magnetic. There is no communication cable. All communications with the device is via Bluetooth. And like, for example, right now I'm connected, and I will warn you, Bill Albright, I'm just now figuring this out. How are we doing with that, Bill?
I just sent you a text.
You did? I don't know if I got it. Well, wait a minute.
So this works when the cell towers are down, that's
Can you
nice, so
dictate?
your phone is
Or
still
you have to
useful
Type.
when the towers are down.
It is, yes.
That is nice.
And what it
But
does,
that's a good question.
the more of these we have in the community, the more reliable the mesh becomes. Because it's sort of like how they envisioned the internet, where you could wipe out something, but there'd still be a connection. Same thing with this. And if we can get
How
enough
did
of
you
these.
get turned on to this?
I'm sorry?
How did you get turned on to this? How do you know about this?
Actually, it was from somebody else at a meeting mentioned it.
Michael Eastman brought one to the amateur radio club a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and he showed his around.
The,
And
sorry,
Yeah.
I was gonna say that, this is widely used, by, the group, down in, LA. By the emergency, groups down there,
Okay,
their areas emergency groups.
that's wonderful. So,
The one thing about this is that, the population is great. And so the nodes act as like transfer points. So say you want to get to someone across town. Depending on how many people you have there, it just gets forwarded from one node to another, to another, to another. Oh, so like you said, he used something.
Michael just told me that he could read my message.
Yes.
so is
So I
there,
had a text message that said, "Do you read me?" And I said, "Yes, I copy you."
Yeah.
But no cellular is required whatsoever.
I have a question about,
Yeah.
can you dictate your text or you have to enter it?
Actually, that's a good point, and I would like to think maybe at some point, if not now, you should be able to dictate, but there's no little microphone here for message right now. When you hit
On
message,
your phone?
yeah.
so if we have a situation and enough people have this, is there a protocol? I mean, there's a protocol obviously for calling channel 7 or 15 and you listen, instead of talk and everything. Is there established protocol as to how that's gonna work?
No, there is no license,
Okay,
and a message goes out.
okay,
Now, you can send it by channel 0, which is the primary channel, and it has, it's open to anybody.
okay,
On the other hand, you can set up secure channels and control who actually has access to it. So, but there's a limit. You can only have a total of 8 channels, 0 plus 1 through 7.
okay.
So you have to be somewhat judicious about how you set up your network safely.
Okay. But say in reality, if there is an event and enough people have this, they could at least text if they can't use the radio and say, we're fine in Louisville Cove and we're fine in Stonebridge.
So it would be another line of
Yeah.
communications.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, it's a backup
It's a backup to.
to the voice communication.
Nice, nice, yeah, I like that summary of it. And we should talk about that this was not your presentation though,
No,
so.
no, actually,
Did you wanna go ahead and do that so that we can?
Well, while we're talking equipment, how about I show you some other
Right.
examples?
Sounds great,
And
thanks.
I assume I can walk over here.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
No, did you want the presentation up?
sure, because I just, this is a ham radio. You need a ham
Oh,
license, and it's technically not legal to transmit on GMRS because it can transmit at 8 watts.
mhm.
GMRS is not allowed to transmit over 5 on handheld radio. But it's a great thing for picking up information. I can't talk on it, but I can listen to Michael Dave talking to the Cape Foul Weather through the Cape Foul Weather repeater, and I can get all kinds of information. So it's a wonderful device for intelligence gathering for those of us that are not hams. This is similar to the radio that Michael passed around. It's a high-end GMRS radio. It's called GMRS certified, and it is legal, but you must have a GMRS license. And the thing is a GMRS license costs you, what is it? So I think it's still
$35 $35 for the entire family. For 10
Yeah.
years.
Right.
10 years
Yep,
under
10
the
years.
same roof. So it's not a big deal to get a GMRS license. So this is a very nice device to have on hand. It does pump out at 5 watts. Again, that's it. It won't go any higher.
What's the approximate cost on that?
That one's 150.
Okay.
This one is 22. Oh, it's the GMRS Pro, Michael.
Oh, okay.
So that was BTEC GMRS
yeah.
Pro. Now, this is a Baofeng UV5G, $22. Also a GMRS certified radio. And the way to watch this is if you order a radio, or if you go to Amazon and you look at a radio, if they say it's 5 watts, then it's probably really GMRS. Or if they say you need a license. If you see GMRS radio and they don't tell you what the watts are, and they don't say a license is required, chances are what you're going to get is an FRS radio, Family Radio Service. These are wonderful radios, and that's what we are encouraging our residents to get. They can only pump out at 2 watts, but we can hear them from our comm center. And in fact, we can hear everywhere, and I'd say in Little Whale Cove.
Yeah.
It's GMRS only in that they share the same channels.
Okay.
So that's the big difference. The beauty of this one is it's easy to operate. It's, what are they now, $35 for T61?
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
two of them.
I had it on sale recently.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the beauty of them is they're already programmed.
But you can't trade out that antenna.
No, it's attached and it will stay there.
Got
But this is a family radio service, FRS, but they share channels. And then finally, this one, oh, I should mention, this one is dual powered. It's rechargeable, but you can change out the rechargeable battery if you forgot to charge it and put disposables in it. This was our original idea, absolute rock bottom. It's still a Midland radio, it's an FRS, but it only uses disposable batteries. So we've kind of gotten away from this, but this looks like a toy. It isn't. We were able to receive all over Little Whale Cove just from the parking lot of the rec center. We did a test, had everybody, or a couple of people. I sat, Bill, Randy walked, and it's a wonderful system. So anyway, those are the radios, some of just examples. And with that, I think I've pretty much covered the equipment, so I guess I could start with my talk.
That'd be great,
That sounds
absolutely.
great.
So you have your poster with you, right?
Well, but the information that's up there is actually the same information on the
Okay,
poster.
okay.
So I don't actually need my wife to stand up there and hold the poster.
So I made copies, is that okay to pass to the
Of
committee?
course. Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so they can kind of follow you around, follow you.
We're trying to get the message out as much as possible to everybody, so please distribute.
Sure, I guess I just have one copy. You got it. Just make one copy, probably make more. Here is, information about him, he's got a very impressive, background. Okay, so we're ready.
Okay. So, I'm Mike Tomlinson, and I am a retired staff oceanographer for the University of Hawaii. And not only is my interest in sciences, but also in communications, obviously.
Feel free to turn your chairs around.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
It's up there.
it's up behind you.
The good news is I can see it fine.
Okay.
The rest of you are out of luck. You have
That's
to just
right.
listen to me.
Thank you.
Okay, so anyway, we've, this started with a poster, it's now a presentation, and the title, as you see, is Beyond Ham Radio, Getting the Information to Residents. And that's the thing, is you can have ham and there, well, let me, actually, next slide, please. So here in the intro, there's all kinds of counties that have ham radio networks. And they use them to communicate with different governmental agencies, first responders, CERT teams, and critical facilities. But how do we get that information to Joe Blow citizen who is not a ham and may only have this? you know, we gotta get the information to the person holding this radio.
That looks like the one I would use because it's pretty.
Yeah. And it's very attractive, they come in many colors,
Oh, they
so.
glow in the dark.
That would be handy, but no, they don't. Okay, next slide, please. So, you know, you might say, well, why is this important? Well, I'm sure most of you remember the Echo Mountain Complex fire, and back in September 2020. And summary of some of the problems: no electricity, no cellular, nothing on FM radio, infrequent NWS National Weather Service reports, rampant rumors and misinformation. Was it the Burger King or McDonald's that burned to the ground?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a tragedy. I'm
Yeah.
glad that wasn't true, I tell you. Smoke, at least up in Lincoln City, the smoke turned day to night.
Yeah.
Barbara and I got up at
amazing.
9 in the morning and
Yeah.
it was black,
Yeah.
so.
That was amazing.
Highway 101 was jammed, and long vehicle lines in the right lane, even when you got down to 4 lanes, the right lane was filled with cars trying to gas up. So another point, keep your gas tank at half at least. Okay, so now my point is, imagine a full rip magnitude 9 Cascadia earthquake, what Dogami calls double extra large, and the associated tsunami. That incident up there would be a cakewalk, and I don't mean to disrespect the people that lost their homes, but we would all be in the same boat, most of us. So anyway, that's why this is important. Okay, next slide. So challenges. For people that are over 18 years old, only 0.3% are ham operators. That's a pretty small number. So we need to get the word out. How are we gonna get it to residents? They're not ham operators. And if the electrical's out, the internet, phone, cellular, other than sticking a piece of paper on a door or a post, we're kind of out of luck unless we come up with some other method for getting the information out. And that's things like GMRS and FRS radios. Next one, please. So first of all, Little Well Cove, planned development, 268 home sites, it's 140 acres. Topographically diverse. It's one way to describe it. We have these deep ravines, which by the way will be perfect funnels for the tsunami. Heavily forested. We have about 700 residents. We have some people that are long-term rentals. And we do have a designated tsunami assembly area. So that's kind of the overview of just our development. Next slide, please. So what are we doing? Well, we took that 140 acres and we broke it up into 15 safety areas. And this is before I even got to Little Whale Cove. I don't even know who came up with the scheme, but it was perfect. It was a good setup. And ideally, we would like to have what we call a safety captain in every safety area. And that doesn't happen. In our area, we have 3.
I was just gonna ask you if you had all your areas that you.
We have 3 areas, I think,
I think we have 3 that are missing a captain
Yeah.
right now, yeah.
and we're trying, but it's difficult. But we are encouraging people to serve as safety captains. And the other thing, and you'll see it in the little sign that follows, we're making sure that people understand safety captain is not a first responder. Their job is to educate and communicate. If they want to go into a burning building, be my guest, but it's not a requirement to be one. We're encouraging everyone to buy walkie-talkies, again, low-end ones. FRS radio, dual power, wonderful little device, and in fact, Little Whale Cove feels strongly enough about it that we actually have started giving them to our new residents. As our new residents come in, they're given 2 FRS radios. So that's we're trying to put our money where our mouth is, so.
You know, eyes get big and wide when you tell them why they need it.
Yeah, well, if they don't know by the time they move in, then I don't know what they've been doing.
Do
Sorry.
you have any idea how much of your population in the HOA actually have radios and know how to use them?
Very good question, and no, we don't. We have tried several times to do surveys with limited success. We're guesstimating 30% maybe, and that's probably being optimistic.
Yeah, I think different areas are, I mean, the area that we happen to be in, Michael and I are in area 13. And I think in that area, most of the people have a radio.
Well, it helps, three of us are safety captains. We bump up the percentage a little bit.
And we've been talking a lot to the neighbors in our area. I don't know about the other.
Yeah, I'd say where Ron Pierre used to live in area 1.
Area 1,
there's
there's
quite a few there.
A lot of radios, yeah.
So anyway, continuing with what we're doing, we do monthly radio polls, routine polls. And next slide. Okay, here's just 2 signs. One is asking people to consider serving as a safety captain. And like I say, you're tasked to educate and communicate. The other one is just, we're handing radios out to people and they're going, especially these, they're pink. And they're looking at these things and they're going, what am I supposed to do? We're trying to convince them, you do not have to talk, but the first Saturday of every month, turn on your radio, listen to us. Just make sure you know how to turn it on. Can you change channels? Do you have any batteries? That's always a biggie. Okay, next one. Okay, continuing in an effort to help them, we prepared like essentially a 1-page instruction. I don't expect you to be able to read that, but the back side of the page is just parts of the radio. The first page tells you how to turn it on, how to change batteries, how to adjust the volume, and how to change channels. That's all it does. So, but we've narrowed it down to just one little instruction sheet, and we're trying to do that for everything but the Baofengs, which is like 5 volumes, I think, to get all the instructions. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is the overall layout, and we have our comm center, which is in the rec center, and we call it the crow's nest because it's on the 3rd floor. And that's where our 20-watt base station is. Now, with a GMRS license, you can go up to 50 watts, but you're gonna start talking over other groups and stuff. So we limited it to 20 watts, I believe at Michael's suggestion.
Yeah.
And we can talk to our safety areas with our safety captains. Hopefully they'll have GMRS radios. They can either go door to door, which we wouldn't encourage during an earthquake, but they can also talk on the radio. And the safety captain should be able to hear everybody with even this little fellow. So communication should not be a problem. And then we communicate with Michael. Now, I originally thought it was all just ham. Then I found out Michael actually monitors GMRS channels. So it works out really well.
That's what you say about me.
All the good things.
So the good news is if I'm in the comm center, I can contact Michael on GMRS radio. Can't do it on ham. That's what we need Bill for. Bill's a ham, not a person. So anyway, that's the setup, and we do communicate back and forth with Michael. And actually, the one thing I was gonna do, Michael, and this would be a good place to interject it. The earthquake is scheduled for 10/16. Don't get used to it. They don't normally schedule it. So, and the ground will shake probably anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. You will not be able to stand at a magnitude 9. The G-forces alone will force you down onto the ground. After the quake, so let's say 10/21, the ground is settled down and hopefully your house is still standing and liquefaction hasn't sucked you up into the ground, you'll be able to communicate. And Michael, what I was going to do was set my radio up just in my car at the end of the driveway. I have a 15-watt radio, and it's a mobile unit. And I can contact Michael before Dawn gets up to the crow's nest. Because, and first of all, we don't even know if the crow's nest is gonna be standing, you know? So at least we'll have some sort of a backup comm center operating after the quake. Unless, of course, the tree lands on my car, forget that, then all bets are off, but next slide,
Before
please.
you move on, if I might ask a question, so you have this, the crow's nest contact your safety areas.
Yeah.
And do they use one channel to do that, right?
Yes.
Okay, then,
15.
what does, like, say, safety area 15 use to contact their residents? You wouldn't use.
Yeah, they'll use 15.
But don't you worry about them all talking at the same time?
Actually, so far, that hasn't been a problem. It could be, it's a very good question. And I think we'll probably cross that bridge if it ever shows up. But so far, we haven't had a lot of problems with people talking
Right.
over.
Good job for safety.
Yeah, actually, they do really well, in that, I think, at the pace, it depends on who's their, well, we'll call it the net control, station, who is like the director for traffic. And if, they've done really well, I've observed them also, someone will come in, Mike, this is from safety area 7 or whatever. Steve is trying to check in, he's kind of scratching at you. So at that point is where we need to practice and learn to relay. And what you do is you would wait, and you would say, net control, I have a relay. And then you relay the station in, or any information that the station said, well, my house is falling down on me, I need assistance. You just relay that to back to him, and then he can send it on to us, and maybe we can move assets into the area to help assist with the recovery.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. Another thing we have is, Ann has done an incredible job of keeping not only improving our website, but keeping it loaded with information. So there's the Little Whale Cove website, and within it, we have the emergency preparedness page. And it has things like that poster and instructions on how to do different things and so forth. So next slide, please. Up in the crow's nest, there it is up there. We have GMRS, FRS radios, ham radios, right now just handhelds. Eventually, we hope to get our Yaesu up there, but we need an external antenna. And we also have a new thing we're experimenting with called a trunking scanner to pick up emergency frequencies. We also have a kiosk, old style. You go out, you put a piece of paper on it's weatherproof, that's the only step up, but you put a notice on the kiosk. And we also have a programmable sign, which you can just barely make out up there at the top of the crow's nest. But when you're in the parking lot, you can read it. Okay, this is just what it looks like. It's unremarkable. Right now, we have an internal antenna. We do not have external, but we've been getting fairly decent coverage for that. So that has worked. And then other things we do, we prepare after action reports, even for minor events. We had a partial power outage. We prepared a little after action report. What worked, what didn't work, what can we do better? Likewise, we do tabletop exercises for a variety of different things.
Could you give an example of what that would be, a tabletop exercise?
Well, that was like the last one was especially good. It was led by Dave Dumas of our forest committee, and he was doing wildfires. And it was fascinating because I read portions of the Lincoln County Natural Hazards Mitigation Plan. And everything that Dave told us was there in that plan. It's like, wow, watch the weather for wildfires. It's your first line of defense. Keep an eye on the weather. Is it a red flag warning? Something like that. So anyway, we sit down, we talk for 2 hours. So far, we have yet to actually go through one where we play act, thank God. I'm not really much of an actor. But we talk it through. We say, okay, well, this is what happens if this happens? What do we do if this happens? So it's that kind of a tabletop exercise.
Thank you.
Okay, next slide. Okay, but we still have things to do. We'd like to have all of our residents participate, even if they don't talk, if they just listen. That would be a real step forward. We're setting up the trunking scanner, and not only will it monitor information coming over different frequencies, but it will also keep a record of our channel. So we could record channel 15, and we'll know exactly what transpired during an event. And the only thing I'm suggesting, Michael talked about relays. I would like to suggest that once net control gets the relay, they say, okay, the time is, and then pass that information out to everybody else. So we'll have a time-stamped audio record of everything that transpired. Okay, we'd like to get external antennas for all the devices. And one thing that bothers me is we seem to be losing our sirens. Sirens are a low-tech answer to something that, you know, obviously if you're gonna have a Cascadia earthquake, you're gonna know about it. You won't need a siren. But like the Kamchatka earthquake, fortunately the internet was up and we were able to send emails out to people and give them a heads up, and then we also got on the radio. We need some way of alerting people when it's not so obvious that there's a threat, and we don't have it. I would like to see us get away. I know sirens are very expensive and they're hard to maintain, and I don't think they should be tsunami sirens. I think they should be emergency sirens. You hear that go off, you turn on your radio. What's going on? You know, making it just a tsunami siren, well, that didn't work in Lahaina.
Yeah.
That was a real problem. So anyway, some method of figuring out how to alert people. And then we're actually.
Mr. Thomason, if Sam Buckley was here, I think she could answer that for you, because I heard her answer that very question.
Okay, good.
And what she would say is that Everbridge, the system that the county does use, puts out when there's something, and that, I'm sure you have Everbridge on your phone.
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason why you got, and I'm not advocating this is the answer, so it's not like I'm the, please don't shoot the messenger. I just know that several of us have heard her speak to this.
Yeah.
The reason why you didn't get anything about the Russian earthquake was because it was inches, there was no immediate danger, and so Everbridge chose not to alert, am I right?
It was a watch.
It was a watch, so they put it into a watch, which is why nothing came out that way. So
Yeah.
when we do, I believe Sam would say to you, I'll try to make it shorter, Sam would say to you that the county does have a system of alerting you, and it is the Everbridge system. And now I won't be Sam, I actually hear you as well. And I was getting the information because I monitor everything besides Everbridge. And so then we actually made a decision up at View of the Bay, well, do we tell everybody? And we made the decision not to alert everybody because we didn't want to be like the cry wolf thing.
Right.
Like, oh, now they're all gonna be, I mean, we do that every time, and so it's an interesting gray line.
Yeah, it is. There's a whole discussion about WIA, wireless emergency alerts. And unfortunately, the gentleman has passed away, but Dennis Maletti did an excellent FEMA prep talk on doing targeted WIAs. I just sat in on a webinar and this Professor Emeritus from, I think UW, was talking about how the roads were just filled with people evacuating for Kamchatka. And it was like, well, send a targeted WIA, don't send it to the whole county. Or if you send it to the whole county, tell them, if you live within 50 feet of the ocean, get away from the ocean. The rest of you, don't worry about it. You have to target your alerts. Otherwise, and I'd hate to make the decision myself that, you know, well, that was one reason we created our local radio network.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Many things are not considered.
So did you send anything out to your neighbors?
Yes.
Little Well Cove knew that, when you knew that there was something happening in Russia, you sent something out, you didn't wait for everyone.
No. Once I found
What did you
out,
send out? What did you say to people?
basically it was just, it's a distant earthquake. We have a number of hours, projected hours. In fact, I don't know if we actually put that in there or not. But it was like, being a distant earthquake, chances are the tsunami is going to be small.
So it's pretty much what FEMA sent out, because that's what I got that from FEMA.
Right. Yeah, and, but I will say one thing, speaking as an oceanographer, there are no small tsunamis. A tsunami is, people say, well, how high is it? Well, they'll say 1 foot or 2 foot, you know, and they go, I surf that every day. But the difference is, a tsunami is like a relentless tide that moves very fast. So imagine high water coming in, but instead of taking hours to come in, it comes in say 20 minutes or 10 minutes. That's a lot of water moving. And like in American Samoa, I watched the federal parking lot cameras, and it was less than a 2 foot tsunami, and it's moving cars all over the parking lot.
Wow.
But when it lacks in height, it makes up for in mass and distance.
Exactly.
200 miles long.
Yeah.
All that water's coming.
But in Hawaiians call it Kai, which means the climbing sea. What happens is you have all that volume, I mean, millions of gallons of water behind what the first one, it starts climbing on itself. It might come up against the seawall up front here, and then it will begin to build up on itself. So the Hawaiians call it Kai. May I answer one of the questions that was asked about how do we alert? How do we get alert? Your weather radio has the same alert system. It will signal that the alarm will go off if there is, and it would be a good time for you to, you know, check with your cell phone, you know, see if you got that emergency message from, you know, from local officials, not from distant someone in Washington or anything, but from local, at our local. I kind of mentioned earlier that we don't activate, we don't even send anything up. I do let Brady know that we have an active event. That's it. But we do not activate, send out any warnings or anything of that sort until we get the information from emergency management. Yeah.
We're very careful about not disseminating false information, so a lot of what we get, we rely on Michael to tell us. And Brady gets it from Michael, and then Michael passes it on, or Brady passes it on, so. And I rely on Everbridge because my phone's set up for it, it's gonna let me know. The city has an Everbridge, there's a flyer for that. I do need to start testing that one, but that's, I know it's always a struggle, how do we get people notified?
Yeah, I think, you know, that is everybody, well, mostly everyone has a cell phone. And you can definitely link in alerts, you can get all of that from there, so.
As long as the cellular is working, and we know that Mr. Murphy works overtime during a disaster.
Absolutely. That's why we have radios to communicate with each
Bingo.
other.
I think, is it Luke right on the time?
Let's find out. Yes.
Oh God, still what we need to do. Backup centers, we're thinking about putting a radio station in our gatehouse, just in case that nice crow's nest ends up down on the ground floor. Although as Bill pointed out, at least the radios be down on the ground floor. So it's easy to get to. It's always that. The mobile backup is operating out of a camper van. Implementing fact-checking protocols. We do not have anything formal yet, but we would like to come up with something that will work, so Burger King doesn't burn again. And we're gonna continue to refine our established incident command system. So I think that's it.
I will say, I
Nope,
played
one
this-
more.
What's that? Oh, the conclusions. Well, if you haven't figured it out by now, yes, I do not dump on ham radio operators. They are wonderful. They give us lots of information. I worry about Joe Blow citizen. I want to make sure they find out what we found out from the ham radio operators. So hence the name Beyond Ham Radios. So anyway, that's it. Okay.
Well, well, you forgot to say. You forgot to say a song.
What? No, thanks, Mike.
Okay. Yeah, you know, I think Eric and I, you know, I must admit, there are some ham operators that actually, they consider GMRS and FRS and CB, they're over there and we're over here. Well, we don't think like that, you know. It's all part of communication. More people we can get to participate during some sort of event that will affect the area. More people that I think will find ourselves better able to get information in and out of the area. We're like the conduit that goes outside of the area. We send things, if we can't get it in, get it out by one way, one type of radio, we'll use other frequencies and get the information so that we can get assistance where it's needed in our community. Anyway, I have a better chance of surviving if we all work together. You know, that's important for me.
I think we can conclude, we've really come a long way. Our committee's been together about 5 years, and we've really learned a lot. Little Hill Code has, and everybody has, but there's just that much more to do, and that's the thing that we're trying to focus on.
Mhm.
I'm so grateful for you guys to come today. Thank you, and all of our Little Hill Code, yay. People appreciate it. Thank you.
I have a
Yes,
final
yes.
comment about equipment. Some of the radios will be able to have antennas installed on them that are better operating than the ones that come with it. This one had a little stubby about this long, and I replaced it with this. And having a better antenna increases the likelihood you'll get better reception.
Okay.
Apparently, the FCC has backed off on that. They used to say you couldn't remove the antenna on a GMRS, but that little inexpensive GMRS came with 2 antennas.
I'm not gonna tell my.
So what size antenna is recommended?
Well, then now that,
Yeah, I'm gonna show you.
an expert.
Okay.
This is, I have one of them here. This is, and I really,
This right here?
no, that's the,
Is that a telescoping one?
no, you want to see if that was still the one? This is it.
Oh, well, that one.
Yeah, this is it. This is called a Bandit.
A bandit?
Yeah, it's called a Bandit, and it's for FRS or GMRS radio. And in fact, I talked to Mike in his the crow's nest on the let's see, on this little guy. sitting in my living room. And so, of course, he had the height, you know, but what always concerns me is the obstacles between Mike and I, the buildings, you know, the buildings. But the best test of this guy with this antenna was talking to Deb. Because I've got a big hill right in back of me and a water tower at the top of it. Yeah.
Okay.
And there was no problem communicating with her.
That's
Does make a
great.
difference.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right, that's wonderful. So does anybody else have any questions for our speakers? We appreciate you so much. We really do thank you, and we will see you, I guess, on the 10th,
Right.
at 3:00, and then we will make sure we see you, or notify you ahead of time and remind you about it. But you're all welcome to come to bring your radios. We'll have our radios and we'll just go from there. Okay, and you're all welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, if you would like to. So we're just going to go forward.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
You don't need a license for this.
Brady said.
You need somebody to communicate.
So next on the agenda,
Are you gonna stick around?
is to talk about our recent event on Saturday as the expert. And I'd like to find out what you think, how you think it went.
Brother from another mother.
What worked, what didn't, what we can do better. Kathy, would you like to start?
Well,
Biggest stick around. I think he's got money.
Mike, you gonna stick around for a bit?
You want to stick around? They're just talking about other stuff.
No, I won't.
talk to you first. This is, okay, talk over.
So that was wonderful. I said those lack of response, but I think people have been overwhelmed with information coming out. You know, there was it 2 weekends ago at the CAP, they had a event that was in the city. Yeah, the county's been, so we might just have this hit of people saying too much.
We'll just have to do it earlier, before September. Because September is the emergency preparedness month, and they plan all that.
Yeah.
So we would need to do it. And then should we grab the community center to do that? Because I think that's what.
I think people are.
I think that's what people, the expectation is that would be there, and that, because that's where we're seeing. I also think, I don't know, step on, but I think that there's, so like I said before, I think we have a really good group of experts that we rely on, and I think our network, I think the city has networked well. If the city's emergency preparedness committee, if what our, the state of Oregon has said that where they wanna put the bang for their buck is by making sure that word gets out, that people are informed. It's not about being the, okay, everybody, come please, let's all be around me and let's all here to help you. It's about making sure that community members are informed. And so if instruction is what our emphasis should be, we've done a really good job, at least the last 3 or 4, making sure that the information is clear and that it is up to date. It's what, because this is science, so we get new information all the time. We've got a really good network like that. I think as we've talked about, how do we get the information out, and we've done some really big events. The GAMI has shown us that we are going to be in an event broken into 5 zones. It's talked to us about how, because of our geologic features, what that's gonna look like. And I'm being really careful not to use the word island, because apparently people tend to think about Hawaii, and that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about isolated areas, and there are 5 of them. And so I think what this, I know some of us have talked, I think what this committee is thinking of doing is actually doing targeted things for each zone, which then would be, and then Joyce has some really good ideas what that would look like. It would be a way to network that community, to start finding leaders in that community that would rise to the occasion that then we possibly could network up. possibly it would be our barrel host that we have already would end up rising to, I think by putting something out, because how the word gets out is a whole other thing. How do people know? If we target it, and Joyce, you spoke really specifically, how do we target zones? What do you think?
Well, Karen, you wanna, say something more? Okay. So, I think that I've been with having 4 of these events. And the first one was with, Jimmy Damaris, and it was like standing room only, and people were excited, this is something new. And then we had a couple more, and then we had, Saturday. I think that every time we've seen less people, no matter who the speakers are. And of course, Saturday was unique, it had its own set of issues, like a change of venue, the weather, 2 football games, you have all this stuff that may or may not have played into it, but I think people are worn out. I went to one a couple of weeks ago that was done by Oregon Cascade West Council of Governments, which was about how to take care of senior citizens. And then the very next day, the county had an emergency preparedness. A lot of us went to that, and it's just like a lot. We all get emails, so like, is this Zoom presentation, it's this and this and that. There's just a lot out there, so I think that people are overwhelmed. I have the idea that we shouldn't do what we did yesterday for a while. I think it's okay, but it's not grabbing the people we need to grab. My suggestion would be back to some of the goals that we've had for this committee, is just to have isolated, targeted groups. I went to, let's see, you and I and Karen went to a presentation done by Lynn Eden, which was really good, and they had like a survey, what are your skills? And we filled it out, what have you. I think that we need to get back to that. You have this isolated area, what are your skills? We can do that at the community center, we can have a potluck, we can have a neighbor get to know neighbor type of thing. That's how I envision it. I think if you had a more informal situation where you're sitting around a table talking about what this will look like if we have an event, how we're gonna help each other. My neighborhood, I talked to a gentleman, you know, Miguel. He moved in the day after the cold front, was one of my neighbors. And he said that immediately people came over, they knew about the moving van and the Kansas license plates, helped him, this is really unusual, what do you need? Do you need a generator? Do you need food? Do you need water? So he is very much an advocate of the neighborhood type of situation. I think we can start with our neighborhood, Kathy.
Sure.
You know, we can start, and we're gonna have to go door to door, here's a flyer, tell them about what you wanna do. We're doing this on the 13th of the month, hope you can come. It's a potluck, I think by having this a potluck, we can provide like a main meat dish or something. But I think it's more informal and give people a chance to talk.
Gives them the buy-in.
Yeah.
They're walking into something, it gives them the buy-in. And so you're saying, when you say that you're how we let them know in small communities, and so you're saying that would be a door hanger. I think the door hanger, we need to be really good at that design, Kim. What that, she's so good at designing these things. At that is because it would be the same day door hanger every time we did it. So that it'd be like, oh, they did that in that neighborhood, because now it's not. It would be the same shtick, it's just geared for that particular zone or that particular.
I agree with you.
And then that way the door hanger wouldn't change, then they would know, oh, it's our turn.
Yeah.
Oh, the city's looking at us this time, let's see what, and then we could do, and we know we get good turnout from your neighborhood, so we could use that stat as we go in. Well, we had a bunch of people from this neighborhood, go ahead.
I think it's more of a door hanger, it's knocking on the door and talking to people too.
Okay.
You know, I know that, in my little neighborhood, little horseshoe, Jean comes by with flyers all the time and she knocks on the door and she talks to us and stuff. And so it might take a while to do that, but, you know, I think we need to try to see, you know, what people think about it and then invite them as a potluck.
Right.
So that's something that we can talk about, but that's my general idea about doing that. I appreciate the city so much, everything the city does for each of our events, but, you know, let's give them a break. You know, let's just do something simple and just, try to do as much as we can on our
I
own.
love that idea.
Yeah, good, thank you.
And then neighborhoods could start to see their own strengths. And then we always know that we can put these on because they're, which are not, I'm saying, but I think our next one should be more targeted into the people. Since we're not getting them there, we're gonna need to go to them.
I agree with
Because
you.
if our point is to be educators about what they need to be concerned about without scaring them.
Yeah, you know, who has a generator? You know, who
Right.
has medical experience?
Exactly right.
You know.
But map your neighborhood, that's what.
Yeah,
That's what all that
exactly. So,
Right.
we've got some time to look at it, you know.
That's a great
and try to plan it, so we
Do
can.
we have, Kim, what kind of, when we talk about mapping neighborhoods, like we all know our own neighborhoods, do we have figures in most neighborhoods around here? Do we have an idea what each one, who a strength would be or what a street we might target? Do we have an
Well, we
idea?
just have the city map.
We have a city map and
Yeah.
then we
So
could
you
just
would have to
start
determine
there.
who you wanted to do. I mean,
Right.
I don't think the city map necessarily identifies it as like Stonebridge homeowners, you know, Stonebridge or View Bay, or
Right,
whatever, but you have the areas.
Now, Public Works drives every street on that,
Pretty much.
Yeah, they do. So they are resources as far as what they know in those communities. Talk to the guys.
So we can put that on our agenda in November and talk about it. I don't envision us doing it, you know, for
between
several
now and then.
months after
Yeah,
the
we have to think about
holidays.
whether or not on door to door.
Yeah, but I just think that we need new.
What do you guys think about that? Like really honing in on them, making it much more personal and don't, we've done the big events and have gotten fewer and fewer. And we still have those resources and we could pull some of those resources once we start knocking on doors and say, oh, I'd really like to learn more, we could ask them to come to the college.
Absolutely.
Because the state is, Dami is so great about coming to whenever, as long as she's got the time, she loves coming.
Did you have a comment?
I do. I learn something every time I come to Twin. I mean, very good information. What I think has happened, and I'm just speaking from talking to people in my neighborhood, they think it's a one and done, it's just gonna be a repeat of.
I know, that's what we're afraid of.
And that's a big, you know, I think that was a big, big
Interesting.
issue.
So we just say that's the headline, it's not one and done.
Right. I mean, honestly,
No, because that's the point.
because I think that is what has happened. I have never viewed it that way. I always felt like it was something new. Even if I've heard it before, it wouldn't hurt me to hear it again. Maybe I'll pick up something that I didn't. But I haven't found it to be a one and done. I have gotten really good information. I take notes, I go home and read it over, and I even research more, you know, on the internet or whatever. But I think that from just talking with some of my neighbors, I think that's what
That's
it's
good.
And
happened.
that's what we thought too.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
we
had fabulous store prices.
Oh, we did.
I know, it's not, yes,
Exactly.
fabulous door price.
Yeah, and so, I just wanted to throw that out there.
That's great, that's good.
That's extremely helpful, thank you.
I missed out on the Glen Eden, but I came home and I just got all this information.
Oh,
through
now
Diane.
that one was so good
And she
about
kept saying it's
sanitation.
all about survival.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that was really wonderful.
And I had,
Yeah.
The composting was, he missed that because he thinks
I wanna know
compost was
more about
fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. So Karen, did you have anything else to add?
No, I think this is great and we can do it at the community. hall.
Yeah.
We just need to get on it and we'll just be sure we get.
Let's
put it on
make
the
sure we
calendar.
put it on the calendar.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Just
so
sure
we
we
know
don't
that that's a
Just
problem.
that.
And thank you. So the other,
Okay,
part of our agenda was cash storage unit access and security. Of course, we have the storage unit and we have the two caches out there. And when we took everything out and put it on the parking lot and we didn't really count it, but we made sure everything was there, put it back in, we had a lot of trouble accessing the storage unit. I'm sorry, the caches. The storage unit's pretty easy. You just need to have the code and a key and know how to use the lock and everything. But I don't know how to solve that problem because in an emergency, you've got these big old locks and you need everything that's in the caches. And how are you going to?
I wanted to.
we literally can't get the door open. Yeah. It's that. It is so massive and the thing is, I can't, her husband helped and then we tugged, then I actually went and got Brady, you cannot. Now, in an event, maybe we'll all have super strength, I mean, that's a possibility, and we'll be able to pull, but they are not easy, but that's, I don't know how.
I don't know what the solution is.
I don't know either.
I don't either. I wish
Can we
Brady
do a
was
regular
there.
maintenance on
I'm sorry?
that? Couldn't we start a regular maintenance plan on them where we oil
Yeah.
everything?
Yeah, we can.
Have a crowbar handy.
We
Try it out.
ended up having to use a Slim Jim.
Well, remember the cache up at the Hatfield at the top of that ramp? They don't have a real secure thing, and they just said there's rocks out there, smash it.
That'd be a pretty big rock.
Yeah, I wanted to get a keyed in entry instead of those with keys and pass, the combination around so that we have access that way because.
But it's not about the security
No, I know,
access,
I know.
it's about the buildings itself, the
Yeah.
entrance is rusting, the security is, that's one thing, but that's not the problem.
Yeah, you just take it.
You can't, if you put a security thing, you still can't get the dang door to open because it's jammed or rusted or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's hard.
I keep saying, I hope we don't ever have an emergency, we'll never get into these things. I mean, I listen and hear them banging, I'm like, there's gotta be a different way to do this. My question is, what's Seaside doing? Seaside has all those containers, right? So they have plenty of them, so what are they doing?
Well, I actually asked Jameson at the event on Saturday about his caches, and he says it's a nightmare. So they have the same trouble.
Well, that's just dangerous.
I know, I'm just saying, he says it's a nightmare, and they have trouble with, I said, so how do you keep it from, do you have humidifiers in them? I mean, the condensation is an issue. He goes, oh yeah, no, it's a real nightmare. I really like your barrel program, that's so much, I mean, that's what he was, that's why we got on the conversation, because he's like, well, this is manageable, he goes, we can't keep it dry, and we can't keep it, so we're not the only ones, if we solved it, everybody.
Well, thank God, we're all gonna not survive because
So-
we're getting
so
the dang taxes.
It did feel better but they're huge, they're containers, so they're massively heavy, I mean,
And so we had talked about anchor storage, that's a great place,
Yeah.
it's wonderful, it's dry, there's no humidity. But then, Kathy was concerned, she says, well, how are we gonna get into the storage unit, because it's got a big gate and.
Yeah, the only option for that is to knock the gate down. There's not gonna be an option.
So I think we should have a conversation with the owners.
That would be good to find out, but I mean.
Yeah, so how do we do that?
They're gonna say, well, I don't know what they would say, would they consider we have the liability of.
Right, that's why I wanna have a conversation.
Cause that was
As far as
somebody
in an
else.
event, and everything's down, and how do we get in, and have that, like, what.
And then we would
Have
have
a-
all of the other things open.
Right, have an agreement with them.
Liability.
How do we do that? Is that something we do with the committee? I know we're just advisors, and so what's the best way?
You guys doing the legwork is not a problem, so.
So can we
You
contact
can
them?
contact Anchor, I
Okay,
can give
cool.
you the email of I don't know if I know the office, but you can try to call the office, I know the email person that does that, so.
I've actually talked to them before.
Okay, so let's just be sure, because I agree that, I understand. I just
Okay.
need them to understand that in an event, the fence is gonna have to come down, but then that means everybody gets, that's a thing.
And so Dennis says all you need is like a big.
We need wire cutters.
Well, something.
Yeah, seriously, a
big
bolt
tool.
cutter or something.
Bolt cutter,
That's
that's
what
what, yeah.
Much better.
Yeah, but then Dennis would have to swim across the river to get over there.
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
No, so
it's,
just give one to Autumn and Jenny and the family.
there you go.
They're on this side.
Yeah.
Get them working out, we need to buy weights.
So it sounds like it's a universal problem that
Yeah, that's
everybody is
great.
trying to figure out what to do,
So
so,
that's great, okay, so
so-
access to our things, that's
Yeah.
great.
okay,
We
wonderful,
should look at
so,
our scale.
Yeah.
So we're-
I just gotta ask how Stonebridge
Pry
is.
bar.
It's not
Just
easy to open if you've
Same.
never tried.
No, haven't tried.
You can't get them up.
It's next to impossible, I'm not saying
We
it's
should do it
impossible,
again.
but have you guys opened it since February?
Yes.
You have?
Yes, and does it open pretty easy?
Was it easy?
Well, Ellis did it.
I was
Oh, Ellis.
I know someone has to get on their back and
Yeah.
then reach up, it's just.
Yeah, and that's, yeah.
Huh, interesting, that's a
But
problem to
we
have.
can't always count on Ellis being home, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have to
Yeah,
have more
drive
than,
Ellis.
we gotta have more than one or two people.
You have our attention.
Well, we were just putting more stuff in.
Yeah, no, I understand, but in an emergency,
Yeah.
I don't have the strength to do something like that frequently.
So it's a universal problem that we need to figure out.
That sounds great, okay, good.
Okay, so we're to the agenda where we have public comments. Do we have public comments? This is our public. Do you have comments? Would love to hear some. How about online? We have Gina and Jean online. Any comments from you guys online?
No,
Okay.
but thank you for having us.
Thank you, Jean. I appreciate that. Okay, we've had a great meeting, guys. Thank you, and the meeting is over. Appreciate it.
Next meeting is November 10th, that's right.
Oh, before you hang up though, two things.
Yes.
You got that attention.
Yeah. Two things. One, meeting with the Stonebridge Board, on Wednesday. We're gonna start talking a little bit about the cash.
Okay.
Good.
You guys will get a new agenda. I had to revise it before the meeting.
Okay.
And the second thing is that, I'm going to present the, hang on a second, what's it called? What is it called, Martin? It's there it is. Remember the county has been working on, and you've seen the, multi-jurisdictional national hazards mitigation plan. That is in approved pending adoption status, so all of those cities and all the jurisdictions will be adopting it. So it'll be on the council's agenda before on the fourth, second, whatever the first meeting is. My question is to you guys is, you've seen it once before, they probably did make a few changes based on feedback. Do you wanna see it again?
No.
Okay, so just the council will get to see it. Okay.
Do you
That's
have
all
any
I
idea
have.
what the changes were?
No, I can ask Michael, but I don't.
But it wouldn't have been,
Well, it's been a.
Excuse me, I did think of something I wanted to ask.
Okay, Jean.
Are any of you going to attend the COAD meeting tomorrow? Talk
No, I
about
don't know
having
what
so
that
many
is.
things to do.
What is that?
That was what we saw there at the fair there in Newport, where they were trying to network all the community leaders.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
I do, yeah, I
I
do.
just can't go on Tuesdays.
Yeah, I don't think I can go either. Are you going to attend, Jean?
Not in town.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wish we could, and you're out of town, correct?
There's just too many things happening this week.
I think that's all of us, and that's, like we said, that's part of the issue. There's just so much wonderful information out there, you can't possibly do it all. But thank you. Okay, any other comments? Okay, meeting adjourned. Thank you for coming. It's nice to meet you.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.